Hello everyone and welcome back to OverPlay, the only video game overview show shot in the form of a Let's Play, and while there's probably a good reason for that, we don't have time to talk about it today because, and I swear to God on high, I never actually thought these words would leave my mouth, Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn. Now, when I first picked this up, I thought, okay, why not? I mean, it's a game, it's a sequel to a game that's nearly 25 years old. What's gonna be weird about this? Well, it turns out, simultaneously nothing and everything. And while that's kind of a hard one to figure out, it just kind of works like that. Let's go ahead and start with the art style, because it's honestly pretty darn good. Honestly, it's the least thing I have to gripe about. It's cartoonish, but in a fun way. Feels like a good updated throwback to a 90s era video game, which is what Shaq Fu is, so no real complaints. The caricatures, while again goofy, are decent enough to represent. As you can see, Shaq here looks, well, like Shaq, so not really anything going on there. Yeah, that joke happens a lot. And everything's smooth enough so that when you see it, it all kind of flows well. Case in point there. Now, as far as the actual controls go, it's pretty simple. Point yourself in a direction and beat the heck out of people. Think like a more low-grade Final Fight. And while that's not a bad thing, actually I kind of enjoy a bit of it. For starters, you don't have to be on the exact same plane as your adversary. Even if you're just a little bit off, you'll still end up hitting the guy, which is nice and a good break from what used to be. Again, it feels like a good update to a 90s model fighting game. Now, unfortunately, that kind of leaves me out of topics to talk about outside of the story. And while the story itself isn't so bad, it's what happens along with the story that's kind of awkward and awful. You see, this game really feels like it was written to be made and put out back in 1994, so let me explain. See this little blue thing I'm fighting here? Kind of effeminate looking? They make great pains about how it's not actually a guy, so Shaq can hit him. Yeah. We went the old school poison route. And while that reasoning might have flown back when, now it just feels mean. And not in one of those, oh, that's what we used to laugh at, haha. I mean, more of one of those, oh God, we used to laugh at that. Why are we back to this again? Now, I'm not exactly a stranger to, let's say, uncouth humor. I'm actually a big fan of inappropriate humor. It's one of my favorite genres. Mel Brooks is a great personifier of that. Absolutely one of my favorite filmmakers out there. This, though, this is not Mel Brooks. Yeah. This. And I'm sure that there's going to be a group of people out there that find this funny. There always is. And since this was a crowd-funded game, if this is your bag, go nuts. But speaking as a general public person, this is not exactly the thing I thought about when I went to play Shaq Fu. Honestly, this is probably one of the strangest and most bizarre things to have put in a game for a long time. And again, it doesn't feel like it's something that should be existing in 2018 and not in one of those, oh God, this exists today. It's, oh God, this exists today. But for all that it sounds like I'm talking smack about this game, and yeah, it is kind of bad, I don't think it comes from a place of maliciousness. Much rather, it comes from a place of outdatedness. I mean, for all that this game feels like it should have been made in the 90s, I have a feeling the story for it mostly was. And a lot of this is just graphical touch-ups and light things being put into the game to make it more available for a market now. So, again, while it's not for me, it's probably going to be for somebody out there. Just be prepared when you go into this. That being said, Shaq Fu: A Legend Reborn is simple, strange, and quite honestly baffling. And again, it doesn't feel baffling in a good way. But if what you've seen is something that you're into or you think you might be into, best I can recommend, find a friend that got this just out of weird interest and just borrow it from them for a while. You'll get the feeling as to whether or not you'll like it in about the span of 10 minutes. Outside of that, there's not a whole heck of a lot out of this for anybody. But, as always, these are just opinions, and opinions are wildly subjective, especially mine. So, leave a comment down below. What did you think? Did you play Shaq Fu? Did you like it? Did you not? Are you mad that I just let Shaq lose? Well, you shouldn't be, because I can tell you why. It's because this game should have been about Charles Barkley, the Earth's greatest defender. And with that, leave a comment down below as to what you thought. Be sure and hit a like if you enjoyed this, or a dislike if you didn't. And share it around and subscribe. Either way, we'll see you next time, everybody. Laters.